Today's breaking news, the 1.5-year search for a Germantown man and his two sons is over. It ended in Brazil. As News Channel 3 first reported at noon today, the FBI says that's where Craig Walker and his sons Landon and Logan have been found. The FBI has just ended a news conference to announce Walker's arrest. News Channel 3's Carlson is live outside the FBI offices in East Memphis. Karen?
Jerry, the press conference wrapped up, as you mentioned, just a few minutes ago. It has been a very long 18 months for Christy Walker, who found out early today that she is actually going to be seeing her children again. Now, I know this has been a very difficult time for you. What was your reaction this morning?
Just very, very overwhelmed, very thankful. Apparently, they've been in a very remote area, and it's definitely an answer to prayer that these boys are coming home.
Now, I know it is a very overwhelming thing for you. You have always had hope, though, that you would be able to find your sons.
Yeah, you never, ever give up hope. I knew as long as we were looking, we were continuing to search for them, that they'd be found. Again, we're just very, very fortunate that this is going to be resolved and the boys will be home soon.
Now, what was your reaction when you found out that they were in Brazil, of all places?
I was actually pretty surprised. We had thought about it, and then there had been these other supposed sightings around the country, and we just felt like it was going to be too hard, you know, for him to really get out. But apparently he managed to do it, so I'm just glad that they caught up with him.
And an interesting tip from the FBI on their website. What's your reaction to that?
Apparently it was an acquaintance of Craig's. I don't know that many of the details, but he was the one that looked it up and made the call or notified him through the webpage. So again, we're just real thankful and just anxious to get them home and get them back on American soil and let their family and friends be with them.
Now, you mentioned in the press conference just a few minutes ago that your littlest one has been away from you for a very long time, for about 1.5 years, which is about half of his life.
Right. I'm hoping that once he sees me and, you know, his grandparents and things, that things will start coming back to him. But when you're only 2 and you're taken, you know, all he's been used to is his father. And now, again, like Landon, he's in a foreign country, you know, without a parental figure there. And I just hope they're okay and not too scared. I know that they know that I'm coming to get them at some point in the near future, I hope, once all this is resolved, and we'll all be back together.
Okay, and one last question for you here today. What exactly will you be saying? I asked you this a little bit before, but what will you be saying when you see your 2 little boys and you're able to hold them for the first time in 1.5 years?
I don't know if I'll be saying a whole much, very much, sorry, whenever I see them. We're going to have lots of tears, and hopefully it'll be a pleasant experience.
Okay, is there anything else you want to say to everybody who helped out with this?
Just thank you to everybody for all the prayers and all the support and everything. Everybody's been wonderful about following this for the last 1.5 years, and very anxious to get these boys home. Memphis community, my church community, co-workers, family, everybody's just, you couldn't ask for a better support system, and I'm very, very grateful.
Okay, thank you very much. We are really happy for you, and congratulations to you. It has been a very difficult past 18 months for her. It has been a difficult past 18 months for the members of her family, the members of this community, the members of her church as well. This is one story where we were able to actually reach out and feel the love of a mother, feel the loss of a mother. And tonight we know that her children will soon be heading home. We'll have a lot more on the story tonight on News Channel 3 at 4:35, 6, and 10. I'm Carlson reporting live from East Memphis, News Channel 3.
Karen, before you go, I have one quick question, and I have no idea whether the FBI covered this in the news conference or not. You may be able to tell us, you may not. When did they find Craig Walker and the sons? Would it have been a couple of days, this morning, or when?
They found him this morning. Actually, they had a warrant out for his arrest at around, about 3 weeks ago or so. They had the warrant there to bring him back into the country on charges of fraud for selling that house out in Germantown from underneath Christy. So they actually were able to apprehend him today, this morning in Brazil. They were able to contact Christy Walker early this morning as well, at around 8 o'clock or so.
And I assume extradition proceedings have already begun, right? On the fraud warrant you were talking to her about.
Right, they're working on that now, Jerry. It's an international thing, so they're working with the Brazilian government to try to find out exactly when he'll be extradited, but they do say that when they had apprehended him, that he tried to get away and jump out the window, so they actually had to go back and rearrest him all over again. They do have him there in custody in Brazil.
So he certainly didn't want to go to jail at all, especially
No.
in Brazil, I assume. And this is a little town. She said it's a remote area. I believe it's Florianopolis, Brazil?
It's Florianopolis. It's on the Santa Catarina Island area out in Brazil. It's kind of on the very tip. It's a very remote place. Apparently, Craig Walker was down there actually teaching English down there. This is kind of a map. I'm not sure if you can get a very good view of it. Here's South America, here's Brazil, right down here, Florianopolis, way out there on the tip of the Atlantic Ocean, a very remote place. People really, they had a tough time trying to find him down there, although there was word that he did have some family out there in the area as well. And apparently Craig Walker, again, teaching English down there in that very remote area.
All right, News Channel 3's Carlson live at the FBI offices in East Memphis. Thank you very much. This is one of those unusual kidnapping stories that we start covering at the beginning, and we're finally seeing it come to a resolution, and a good resolution, at least as far as Christy Walker is concerned. Again, Craig Walker, his two sons Landon and Logan, have been found in a place called Florianopolis, Brazil. Walker has been arrested. Christy Walker, as you just heard live on our air, said she would be going to get her sons Landon and Logan just as soon as all the mechanics of the legal proceedings have been worked out. Again, Landon and Logan Walker have been found. They will be returned to the United States and to the Memphis area to be reunited with her mother. As Karen said, we will have much more on this still developing story on News Channel 3 at 4:30, 5, 6, and tonight at 10 o'clock. I'm Jerry Tate. We now return you to our regular programming.